morning, everyone, and welcome to Wake Up Missoula. My name is Noelle McAvoy.
And I'm Scott Ramp.
And that was Asaph Adonai on piano.
And was that the Miss America theme?
Yeah, Save the Best for Last is the name of that song.
Nice. That's a nice little melody there.
And you have a little thing about, you're going to be talking about Miss America today for your musical notes. Mm-hmm. Featuring a very
famous woman.
Very famous woman who also was very controversial at the time.
Yeah.
But not for what you think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but we're here
Stay
all
tuned.
about that later on between events. But right now I got some news I want to talk about before we jump into the weather. So the top world news is that Germany announced Monday, today, it expects to handle 1 million people fleeing their homelands this year from Syria.
Wow.
And Slovakia joined Berlin in reintroducing border checks with Austria, underscoring the need for European Union nations to quickly forge a common strategy to deal with Europe's immigration crisis. The European Union hopes to get talks going on to deal with over 160,000 people. But of course, there's way more people than 160,000 refugees. Mm-hmm. But right now, that's what they're dealing with so far. And most of the refugees are in bordering countries. Mm-hmm. So they're in the European Union, just on the outskirts, just as getting in from Austria and all those general areas. And I just heard earlier today is that the trains from Austria to Germany, there's speedways, they're shut down for today.
Wow.
So there's a lot of people waiting at the train stations, filling them up, almost like bleeding onto the track. That's how many people there are out there from what I saw.
That's so scary.
Yeah, but from what they have discerned is that they already have 500,000 people in the European Union migrating from Syria's, Serbia's war-torn.
Serbia, yeah, that's really scary. Well, good luck to everyone.
Yep. But of course, in the United States, in Kentucky, Kim Davis is going back to work.
Oh, great.
Yes, and of course, she, as long as she no longer interferes with a same-sex marriage license, then she won't go to jail. That's basically the judge gave her an impossible choice between sticking to her guns and going to jail, or give out the license.
Yep, and do her job that she was elected for.
Yep. But of course, like most people were wondering, why can't she be fired? Well, she's an elected official. She has to
either withdraw, or be impeached.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's why we can't just kick her out.
But of course, in Montana news, there was last weekend in Great Falls, there was one of the biggest tourist attractions in Montana. Apparently, it's the Hay Day. It's What the Hay in Great Falls.
What?
You never heard of that?
No, I never went. What is that?
It's What the Hay, and farmers in Great Falls. There are farmers in Great Falls, am I right? Yes.
Of course, yeah.
You know they're the farmers in Montana when they have red dye diesel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But with the hay, they use hay, and they have these crazy designs, and they put it along the highways, and that's what they call hay days. So
I remember this stuff. I don't think it was ever in Great Falls, though. It's always been in, like, other little towns outside of Great Falls.
I guess people stayed in Great Falls so they can see it. So if we take a quick little look, you can see they have minions. I don't know, this is probably not a good representation, but they make hay sculptures.
Yeah, out of hay. Yeah, I think that this was, like, the first time that I was in Great Falls, because I've heard of this before, but I never saw it because it was never, like, around.
Oh, this is hilarious. The straws.
Straws, that is funny.
There's a whole bunch of great stuff, for sure.
Yeah.
Some of them very creative. Some of them just like, it's a hay, we sprayed paint it, and then we just put a couple of cardboard things on it. And wow. Only you can prevent forest fires, couches. Yeah, and there's Waldo. I was looking for him for over 2 years now. I finally found you, Waldo. And now I'm coming for you. All right, so that's what's happening there. But of course, locally, there's a new street closure. There's more street closures happening. And of course, South 5th Street West, Orange to Russell, look for a lane closure for paving activities which are scheduled for this week, September 15th and 16th. So that's tomorrow and Wednesday. They're going to do some road closures on South 5th Street West.
Oh, okay.
Of course, Grant Creek closing. There's the Fox Farm to Rattlesnake Drive. There's Northwest Energy is replacing a major high-pressure gas line starting from Rattlesnake Creek and working east. And of course, there's all those other constructions that are happening around town. There's the one on 3rd Street that's happening. The road's smoothed out. It's all gravel now.
Yeah.
And now they're gonna eventually put in a road.
Great.
Or not. They can just leave
Or
it there.
not.
I don't know. I don't care. I'm conservative. We just leave it alone. We just stop right there.
We'll just stop driving on it. Yeah.
Stop spending money on it. Just stop. It's like, okay, we're done.
We're done. This looks great.
Yeah, they have a nice sidewalk there now.
Going
it's
back to our roots.
beautiful sidewalk. Like their sidewalk, it's like they never had a sidewalk ever. And now
sidewalk, bad road.
3rd Street, it's like a whole sidewalk.
That's awesome.
3rd
Street's kind of scary. Like towards Reserve gets really busy.
Yeah, I just like when I'm riding my bike, I avoid 3rd Street at all costs. It's just terrible. Like the drivers are terrible. People are just like, I gotta get to the good food store. Oops. And like everyone on their bike is just like, hey, I was just trying to get to the good food store. Get off my back. Good food store.
And then everyone's just trying to get to good food store, and it's a huge mile mess.
Yeah, it is.
I definitely just said mile instead of mile.
We probably promoted good food store a little too much, so we're going to move on.
Yes.
We have some weather to talk about. If you take a look at our screen captured controlled shift 4, you can see that the current temperature is 51 degrees outside. It's going to be mostly cloudy today with a high of 71 degrees, and then tonight it's going to be a low of 44 with 30 to 80% chance of rain, which means it might rain on some parts of Missoula and it might not rain on other parts of Missoula, but it will likely rain somewhere around Missoula County. And then Tuesday you have a 60 to 20% chance of rain, so chances are it's going to start raining tonight and then start lowering down on Tuesday. But of course, Wednesday, this whole week is going to rain. It's going to rain.
It gon' rain.
It going to rain.
All
but
week
of course, the highs, it's ridiculous. This week's highs are in the 50s.
And the lows are in like the 37, 39 range.
So we're almost at freezing temperatures.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like it's like the perfect.
Cold.
It's like if it was just a little bit colder.
It'd be
It'd be snowing. It probably is gonna snow on a lot of parts of it, but that's basically what's happening in the news and the weather today.
Awesome.
And before we go over to Noelle's segment, I have some new videos.
Oh, great! Some new programming.
Yes, but before we get to the new programming, I need to say something else, and then I need to say before we get to that, so we need to keep on teasing and on and on. But other than that, I do need to do some social networking. So you can find out more information about Wake Up Missoula by logging on to wakeupmissoula.wix.com/wakeupmissoula. So nice, you have to write it out twice. You can go onto our Facebook page. It's so wonderful. It still has snow because that will basically determine how long it's been since we changed our cover photo. And you can also follow us on Twitter.
Yes, you can
I'll tweet you back.
You can like Missoula Community Access Television on Twitter.
As well, because I have some nice photos. If you guys missed it, I took a photo of our live stream. We live streamed the Hellgate Roller Girls. And if you want to watch the Hellgate Roller Girls from last weekend, you can go like us on our Facebook page because it's right here. The link's right here. Boom! You just have to click on it. You can watch it.
Yep. Yeah.
It's wonderful. It was a really good match.
It was awesome. I was very confused at how the point system works.
Yes.
Because the Hellgate Roller Girls got like 330 something points.
Yeah, they got 333, and
then
it was like
the Hell's Bells got like 55.
Yes.
And I was like, what? How does that work? How did that happen?
Yeah.
I was trying to follow along, but I guess I just don't really know the rules too much, like too well.
Basically, all I told Noelle and Mason, my camera crew, was to just follow the person with the star on their helmet.
Film the girl with the star.
And you can tell who you're supposed to be filming because the ref is going to be pointing right at them.
Yeah.
The ref is basically saying, film them as they're driving around. It
was funny.
It's ridiculous.
I also tried to get some of the like action.
Oh yeah.
Like
one of the things I definitely did because I filmed the last half of it. I filmed where they were going to. Like I zoomed out to a point where I could see them still. I kept them in the shot, but then I filmed the wall of women. So this is roller derby, and the rules are, if you have a star on your helmet, your job is to pass the group. Yeah. And then the referee, if you're the first person to pass the group, the referee is like, okay, you're in scoring position. Yep. And then if you have to overlap them and you have to pass them once again. And for every opposing member of the team you pass, you get a point. And I guess you get a bonus point if you pass multiple times. But you keep passing until you call off the jam. They call it the jam. The jam. And then you do some weird It's a full contact sport for women. It's pretty cool. It's awesome. And the women have to be really tough. Yeah. Like really tough. To like crash into. And they have the best. They have the best names. Yeah, they have really great names. And you can look all this stuff on our website if you go to YouTube.
Yeah, check it out on YouTube.
And it's on our Facebook pages. We'll be posting it all over. And I'm going to give Lori a copy after the show. So I'm probably assuming she'd be like, I didn't get a copy.
Yeah, right now.
And then I'm going to give her a copy. I'm going to get you a copy.
You're going to get a copy.
And you can find out more information about Missoula Community Access Television by logging on to our website, mcat.org.
Yep.
You can email us, mcat@mcat.org. You can get in contact with us by calling us 542-6228, otherwise known as 542.
MCAT. Oh, sorry, I was yawning. I was mid-yawn.
Yes. But of course, we do have new programs, so now we're going to get some new programming. But before, no, just kidding. I'm just not going to let Noelle do her events at all. It's not at all.
We're just going to banter for 30 minutes, like, oh, the show's over.
No, okay. So this is brand new programming that's happening tonight on MCAT.
Cool.
So when we come back, we'll have events with Noelle and musical
Asaph.
notes with Asaph.
What I need is for you, first of all, you've got your pencil and paper. Okay. Now I want you, I'm not going to tell you what to write, but what I'm going to tell you, some suggestions. Okay. If you're going to write nonsense, what does that mean? It doesn't make any sense, right? And so, write down something that you think doesn't make sense to somebody. Can you do that? I know it's hard, but see, just start writing.
In our neighborhood, we pick up the litter. It doesn't matter who dropped it. In our community, we all help. In our nation, we try to be non-judgmental. If no one has told them that, how in the world can they ever understand the difference between right and wrong? And I reflected on that when one time in a parenting class, a woman said, how can I get my 3-year-old to be kind?
Oh, that's nice. Well, hello everyone, and I've got some events to start your week off with. It is Monday morning, so we've got all these great things happening. So starting at 11:30 today, we've got City Club of Missoula. They're having a discussion. It's Invest in Our Schools with Mark Thane. So over at the Doubletree, starting at 11:30, like I said earlier, the Missoula County Public School Superintendent Mark Thane is going to be the lead speaker at the City Club for Missoula, City Club Missoula. And so they're going to be talking about Smart Schools 2020 bond issue, new developments, and other things that are happening in the education department in Missoula. And then following their speaker, they're going to engage in table talk, and they'll have an opportunity for Q&A. Yeah. So that's open. Is that open to everyone, Scott? I'm
not sure.
Because you have filmed City Club before, right?
Oh yeah. It's they have. It's more like a. Like kind of feels like it's in the Florence Governor's ballroom and stuff. They kind of like hang out and do their thing.
Well, it's in the Doubletree today.
This time, yeah.
But is it like a members only? Or?
I think it is members only because City Club, and they have like a lot of city officials there, kind of just hanging out and they're talking. They had this State of the City address or something, State of Missoula address there. I don't know if they have a Doubletree. I think it really depends upon how they are, but usually Ron films this type of thing.
Oh, okay, cool. So, but check it out if you guys want to, or if not, don't. Yeah. And then so over at the Brunswick Building Gallery, like I was saying last week, we've got the Patty Canyon Ladies Salon. It's having its 15th annual group exhibit. And so today is the last day of their art show. It's called Studies from the Figure. It's at Brunswick Gallery, and it's open from noon to 6 today. And then over the University of Montana in the UC on the 3rd floor in room 333, they are having a discussion called Women as Gatekeepers in Natural Resource Conservation. And so they're just going to be honoring and recognizing women's roles as gatekeepers of natural resource conservation. Yeah. So Moscow Monday is at Montgomery Distillery starting at noon today. This is where they donate $1 from each cocktail sold to a different nonprofit in the Missoula area. Bridge Group is over at the Missoula Senior Center starting at 1 p.m. This is the beginners and brush up group, and then all the more advanced and party bridge happens later on in the week. And then over at the Missoula Public Library, they've got several hours for you guys to work on your electronics. So they have open time in their makerspace from 1:30 to 3. You can learn how to use the equipment and explore some things and talk to some people to find out more about the electronics they have there. And then at 3, they have the electronics exploration. So you can learn about the smaller electronics platforms. You get to try them out. And they welcome participants from beginners to experts, and they will help you with everything that you need to know about electronics. So pretty much from like 1 to 7, 1:30 to 7, in their makerspace, they have got all these wonderful things for you to try out. And then over at the Top Hat Lounge, we've got Raising the Dead. We have the live recorded shows of the Grateful Dead. This is from 5 to 7. So they have live recorded shows from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s from the Grateful Dead. And then over at Bernice's Bakery, they have their Riverfront Neighborhood Leadership Meeting starting at 5:30. They're planning for upcoming events and meetings, announcements, and public comment on non-agenda items. Then over at the Thomas Marr Bar, they're having their Community Monday. This starts at 6 p.m. They are going to be raising awareness about the issue of hunger in our state, and so all the proceeds from their cocktails will go back to the Montana Food Bank Network. So it's 20% of the evening sales. Yeah, so that starts at 6. And then Service Industry Night is at Plonk at 6 p.m. They have exclusive deals on special appetizers and drinks. And then over at the Missoula Public Library, excuse me, they have Transition Streets. Transition Missoula is a organization that offers a positive response to the climate crisis through simple living, resource sharing, and a collaboration for resilience. So this is a free informational meeting in the large meeting room tonight at 7. And then my last event for tonight, Monday, is the Badlanders started to do Blues Monday. So on Monday nights, starting at 9 p.m., they're having blues. Yeah, new blues every week.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on for your events on Monday. Up next, we have Asaph's event.
I think we're going to tell the story of what I consider to be one of the most ultimate triumphs in history. And of course, we're talking about Vanessa Lynn Williams, known to the world as Vanessa Williams. Vanessa Williams finally, after 31 years, received an official apology just last night from CEO Sam Haskell from the Miss America Pageant for 2015-16, for her being forced to resign back in 1984 when she first won the crown. And
are the clip ready?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's show that clip.
On behalf of today's organization, I want to apologize to you. I want to apologize for anything that was said or done that made you feel any less the Miss America you are and the Miss America you always will be.
That's kind of a neat little triumph. You know, she will always be Miss America. She should never have had to resign in the first place. As a young woman, and most young people, they do things they shouldn't do normally because they're just young. And some pictures surfaced of her in her birthday suit, and everybody made a big deal about it, and that's what caused her to have to resign. She's also the first African-American woman to ever win this Miss America pageant, and she had received some death threats when she first won that. Talk about
Why did she
backwards.
receive death threats?
Well, part of it was because of her being an African-American woman at the time. It had nothing to do with the photos that surfaced.
So it's just kind of like people trying to really dig up dirt on her because they didn't like the idea that she won.
Yeah, I mean, there are always going to be people in this country that are, I call, backwards thinking. It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't matter whether a person's black, white, Chinese, whatever, you know, but we live in a culture where people still get hung up over things like racial issues, which is sad. But anyway, talk about her triumph after she was forced to resign. Look at these list of accomplishments here. She released her first album called The Right Stuff in 1988, which spawned the hit The Right Stuff, and it became #1 on the Hot Dance songs. And also her song Dreamin' became #1 in the R&B and #8 in the Billboard Hot 100. And her second album, Comfort Zone, it topped the Billboard R&B album chart, spawned the Billboard Hot 100 #1 single, Save the Best for Last, which was the song I played at the beginning of this program here. So that's quite a triumph there. She did Kiss of the Spider Woman, and she did The Colors of the Wind in 1995, which was an Oscar-winning, best-selling original score for the Disney film Pocahontas, and it reached number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100. And she's done movies, or I should say television, like she played Wilhelmina in Ugly Betty ABC series. That's a neat little triumph. Yeah. She also played in Desperate Housewives. She played Renee Perry, the spoiled rich housewife on that series. So that just gives you a flyover of some of the things that happened in this woman's life since those, I guess, dark years of someone trying to hinder her career.
Yeah.
And all she did was just triumphed over it.
Mm-hmm.
And now, finally, just last night, she gets the official apology.
That's
she
great.
was judging the pageant, so...
Wow.
Yeah. But just so you guys know, Miss Georgia won this year's.
Miss Georgia
No, not
won.
this year's, but she should be reigning in 2016.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I was just like, oh, it's like election.
Yeah, we
or
had no
whatever.
idea.
Except
they
you
do
have
it
a
one
bunch
year,
of
but
like guys
second year there,
and whatever guys and past winners judge.
Yeah.
And if you ever get to see the clip of this young woman singing "Save the Best for Last," it's on YouTube.
Cool.
I think it was back in 1984 too. So,
Great.
go ahead, girl.
Thanks, Asaph.
Sure.
And we have got.
And we'll be right back right after this. From a word from our PSA doing 72 thing. Yeah. Here it is.
On October the 9th, the countdown begins. MCAT's Do It in 72 Hours or Less film contest. Any theme film, under 5 minutes. $500 top prize. $300 second place. $100 honorable mention. For more information about entering the festival, contact MCAT, www.mcat.org, or call us 542-6228.
Nice. So, Dude in 72, you guys, it's coming up. But we've got stuff going on for tomorrow. So, starting at 9:30 a.m. tomorrow is Family Fun Time at the Y. This is free if you've got a membership at the Y, $17 if you don't. And they have indoor all-weather play place where parents are welcome to chill and hang out and watch their kids go crazy. Yeah, and they have, let's see, they've got 2 bounce houses, indoor tricycle riding track, tumbling mats, softy, hockey, scooters, and much more. Yeah. And then over at Taste Buds Kitchen, they have a cooking science weekly workshop. This is for ages 2 to 5. It starts at 10:30. It's $200 per semester, or $25 or just drop in for the day. And then over at the Montana Distillery, they have their Meal-tastic Tuesday starting at noon. This is where they give back to the community, so $1 from each cocktail sold goes back to the nonprofit in the area. Woo. And this is over at the Zootown Arts Community Center. They have their Bike Psyched, their after-school art camp. So this is from September 15th to October 20th on Tuesdays, 3:15 to 5:30. $90 or $80 for members, and they just create art using bicycles, and using the theme of bicycles, and using different parts of bicycles. And then over at the Missoula Public Library, we have our Young Adult Volunteer Orientation starting at 3:30. You can learn ways to volunteer and play some games to learn new skills, and they have a bunch of chocolate. Yeah. And then also over at the Missoula Public Library, they're having a discussion called Animals and Mental Health Recovery. This starts at 4:30. And so Alicia Smith discusses the differences between therapy, emotional support, and service animals, and how they can help individuals with mental illness. Cheers for Charity is over at Draftworks Brewing Company starting at 5 p.m. And so this is where they donate a percentage of their profits to a nonprofit in the area. Yeah, so all of the distilleries and all the breweries always give back to all the different nonprofits in the area, which is great. We appreciate that. And then over at the Missoula International School, they're having an adult beginning Spanish class starting at 5 p.m.
Ay caramba.
Yeah. So this is for adults and children ages 13 and up. They combine the elements of language and culture to give beginning Spanish speakers practice in an immersion setting. Instructor is a native Spanish speaker with years of teaching experience. So it's every Tuesday from 5 to 6:30 for 10 weeks. And it's $180 and it's prorated for late entrance. So that's really nice. And then the Missoula Farmers Market is the downtown Missoula and the Red X's starting at 5:30. This is, do believe that it's this Tuesday, and then next Tuesday will be the last Farmers Market on the Tuesday nights.
What is the theme?
For the farmer's market?
No, my bad. Sorry.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm ahead of myself.
yeah. He's obviously not listening.
No.
So Tell Us Something is over at the Top Hat Lounge at 6 p.m. tomorrow night. And the theme, Scott...
Oh, the theme of this. Okay.
...is the oldest trick in the book. So that starts at 6 p.m. Between 8 and 10 storytellers will tell a story based on this theme. Yeah. And then over at the Jack Reedy Conference Center, conference room, which is in the City Council chambers, they're having a Neighborhood Project Funds large grant workshop. So they're doing a reapplication workshop run by the Office of Neighborhoods for those who are interested in applying for a Neighborhood Project large grant. So that'll be at 6 p.m. if you want to get involved. And then over at the Russell Elementary School, starting at 6 p.m. tomorrow, they're doing their Smart Schools 2020 open house. And so they're going to discuss the current status of the technology infrastructure in our schools. Yeah. And then my last two events for Tuesday is the System Check is over at the Missoula Public Library starting at 6:30. This is the official Gamers Club for ages 19 and under. And then we have our African dance class at the Senior Center starting at 7. This is with Taryn Ream and live musicians. 7 to 8:30 every Tuesday. All levels and ages are welcome. And drop-in dancers welcome anytime. $10 a drop-in or $35 for 4 classes. So that's what's going on for your events. Check out MissoulaEvents.net. For more events that I didn't talk about, you can always check out the Independent, the newspaper, or the University of Montana's website for other things going on in our lovely city. But we've got a little bit of a taste of our Hellgate Roller Girls bout we did on Saturday. Scott, Mason, and I filmed it, and it was a lot of fun. It was really cool, like we were saying earlier. I've never been to one before, so it was neat to check it out. So we have a little clip of that.
I'm trying to find the right
once we get to a good area. But it was
pretty good.
It was neat.
It was neat.
Yeah, it was cool. I still don't understand how it works, but it was fun to watch and fun to film. Yeah, so here's a little bit taste of what happened on Saturday.
And I promise, Lori, I'll get it to you. Settle down. Here it is. So they just stand around, they wait for it, and then when the referee whistles, that's the time to go. So they're just getting ready. They're just powering through. I just wanted to show like one round.
Bubbles was constantly standing in front of them the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, there they go. So yeah. Yeah, this is what they did.
So they just go around, and the girl with the star,
she's the one that scores the points.
So she and 2 others on their team got 333 points.
Yeah.
Hold her now, Mike. Hold her. Good.
Yep. All right, so you can watch the whole entire Roller Girl match from Saturday, September 12th. On the internet. Awesome. It's on there posted. You can see it. It's great. It's wonderful. If you know how the game works, it'll be fun. If you don't know how the game works, you'll learn.
Yeah. But either way, it's so cool to see.
Yeah, but if you want to find out more information about Wake Up Missoula, you can log on to our website, wakeupmissoula.wix.com/wakeupmissoula. There's almost millions of ways to contact us through our website. Contact us. You can contact us through our Facebook page, our Twitter page. But if you do want to contact Wake Up Missoula, you can contact us through our Twitter page on
MCAT. MCAT's got a Twitter page. You can also like Missoula Community Access Television on Facebook. And to find out more information about MCAT, check us out on MCAT.org.
But for Wake Up Missoula, I'm Scott Ramph.
And my name is Noelle McAvoy. Here's Asaph Adonai, and we'll see you guys Wednesday.